There must have been an angel by my side. Something heavenly led me to you. Look at the sky, it's the color of love. There must have been an angel by my side. Something heavenly came down from above. It led me to you. It led me to you. It built a bridge to your heart all the way. How many tons of love inside I can't say. When I was led to you, I knew you were the one for me. I swear the whole world could feel my heartbeat. When I was led to you, you wrap me up in the color of love. You gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. You gave me the kiss that's like kiss of life. Ooh, it was hard to come out of that. That's one of my favorite Sade songs, and that was the channeled music message just before I sat down to record. I saw the most beautiful skyline with the sun pretty much already set, but it was the most beautiful purples and orange, and oh gosh, it was so amazing. And that song just started playing in my soul. So I had to share it. As I said, it's one of my favorites. And to be honest, if you're mad that I sang that long, you're lucky I didn't sing longer because it was honestly hard to stop. I just love that song. It puts me in such a spirit of love. But what's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. It is I, Danae, here with a message for you. Happy December 20th, because I don't even know what day it is. That's crazy. That song just threw me all the way off. Is today? Well, today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's definitely Wednesday, December 20th. Almost at winter solstice, you know, really about to change over into a new season. And Christmas, of course, is just around the corner. So let's see what we got today. Oh, and wow, the Two of Cups. Definitely an expression of love exchange at its best, but it doesn't have to be intimate. It could be platonic. It could be even professional, two people on the same page about a certain thing, but have a very strong invested interest in the outcome. But of course, given the song today, I mean, it's undeniable that at least one particular projection is that two people are on the same page and how they feel toward one another. Perhaps the love that they wish to project and receive, you know, being emotionally available is the indication here. And that's a beautiful thing, for two people to be on literally willing to give and receive love, and to be open to allow the other person to express their self purely, without inhibition, not trying to control the other's expression, dominate it, dictate it, but just being an open channel and a flowing force one to another. So I love that. I love that. And given this the energy of the song, and certainly the spirit of the times, perhaps if you're not already in union such as this, it's something you can look forward to, or that your relationship may be expanding a great deal and emotionally, maybe to becoming more deeply intimate, which is always great and sometimes a little bit scary, right? To be more known by someone in your space, and for there to be less inhibition, less secrets, less veils and masks to work through or see through. But certainly, like I said, if it's a mutual experience and one is willing to see you and appreciate you for who you are just as much as they are willing to be seen and be appreciated, what can really go wrong, honestly? You know, that's the kiss of life right there. I'm here for it, if you can't tell. All right, let's see what else we got. So we got Two of Cups, and it could also be, like I said, it could be a business partnership coming online, or two people, things synergizing in a way where, it's able to move forward in a powerful way. People seeing eye to eye. Oh, look at that World card, powerful. Having closed the cycle, a big one at that. And then we got the Queen of Cups here. What? Okay. The Queen of Cups, maybe perhaps closing a cycle where the feelings weren't so mutual, in relationships that were not so reciprocal, or that just didn't pronounce the truest value, well, I should say reflect the truest value of you. Maybe you didn't feel safe to be your whole, complete, loving self. What's this? Yeah, exactly. The Five of Pentacles. Maybe you didn't feel that expression of you was well appreciated, highly valued, as it would be the Queen of Cups. Or maybe it was even taken for granted, which is even worse, where you were in a connection with which sometimes that Two of Cups can express, where someone was willing to actually take more than they were willing to give, in a lower vibration, of course. And here you were standing in all of your Queen of Cups mastery, emotional intelligence, and compassion, and just willingness to love and nurture, and be loved too, because that's just as important as it is to be the nurturer, and perhaps that's also a cycle that's being closed. That a lot of times with the Queen of Cups, or energies that operate in a very high love vibration, you can almost get your fill and your fix off of expressing love and giving love, and almost start to, actually become accustomed to not receiving so much. You make excuses for it, or you just deflect it as something that, because when you're in the queen position in the cups energy, you almost expect that nobody can ever really quite match your love. You learn to dull your expectations so that you don't get disappointed by the by the anticipation of someone matching your love. And again, like I said, you almost you almost begin to nurture yourself and satisfy yourself with your willingness and enthusiasm to love, as the return, more so than the reciprocation that you truly deserve. And I can definitely attest to that. I can speak to that for sure. I know how that feels, and it's not even something that you do necessarily like consciously. It's a conditioned behavior, because when you're the Queen of Cups and you're intentional and devoted to that energy force, especially when you're growing and maturing, you're not you're not cutting that maturation short, sometimes the prospects can be a bit bleak out there, and you do get tired of giving so much of yourself, and it seems like you never quite seem to get that back in return. And, as I said, like, you just become satisfied with seeing your love on others, feeling people feel you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, I know it's not going to be received. It's not going to be returned in the way that I'm giving it. Like I was going to say, it's like it's not a conscious condition. It is very subconscious by way of your experiences, and even projections perhaps of people reflecting to you that they're either not willing or able to love you in the way that you anticipate or expect. And so then you begin to depreciate your expectations to match that, really as a protective measure, so that you don't get hurt doing too much and giving too much and respecting the same in return. You just become content with just giving, like being happy to give. And to some degree, it is self-soothing because, as I was going to say, the Queen of Cups loves to be the Queen of Cups. She loves to love. She doesn't want to stop loving and stop giving on account of what others are unwilling, or unable, to give. That would be even more of a detriment to her energy. But the true turn of the century of a lifetime for Queen of Cups is one that learns how to really not withhold in a sense, like, cut the world off from her love, but that just really learns the value of self-love holistically, and that it's not a detriment to be selective with how that gets to be expressed or released, that it actually adds value to your spiritual nature to know that it's okay to just love you, until someone shows up. And actually, as a matter of fact, that's the more productive energy to be an attractive force for someone that's willing to match that energy, than it is to give it and then, kind of cross your fingers like just maybe this might be my lucky time, or, eventually just saying, forget it, just let me love you type of thing, because I know I can love you. So just let me do it and we'll both be happy type of thing. But eventually that leads to voids in the spirit and the heart, because everyone, whether they express it or not, desires to be appreciated at least as much as they're willing to appreciate. At least. Now, some people want it a little bit more, you know what I mean? Some people want to take a little bit more, and that's their come from. But when you have a heart to love, it's soothing for the soul to receive it back, and it only intensifies what you're able and willing to give naturally and organically. That's the true value of that reciprocal exchange, to give from a filled up space, is the true expression of maturation and evolution of a loving queen, a loving woman, a nurturer, someone that truly lives on the vibration of love, knows that it's more highly valued internally and productive internally, literally a life force fuel, that if you're giving from a depleted tank, you're not really giving holistically anyway, even if you think you are. If you haven't really begun to love yourself fully and completely in the way that you wish someone would have the ability or willingness to love you, then even what you're giving out is a little bit subpar, even with your best intentions. So for all of us, particularly women that are conditioned in a certain way to give, like we're supposed to give, even when we don't have it to give, a lot of this, this past decade, these past few years have been us reclaiming our energy, sanctifying our love space, and making it sacred again, valuing it at the highest level, and not by what is externally projected or even materially matched, but just truly by what we can generate within, So this is the new space and time that, because of taking that devotion with self and that intention to cultivate a high octane of life force by way of the love, vibration, and frequency, the world is evolving with that. It's like the world you're evolving with the world, and the world is evolving with you in that evolution, so that now you get to see the fruits of that labor. You get to actually see in real time what you have already ordained yourself to be worthy to receive, just by way of just protecting your energy and not giving it out to everyone, and not settling for less, and and being, subparly satiated, satisfied, maybe. I don't know if it's satiated, satisfied with just barely enough, or just, if you could just give me half of what I'm giving you, that'll do. No, we want the whole thing, the whole cup. If I'm giving you my cup, I want your cup too. We could cheers together, we could toast together, but that it's not robbery of you to think of yourself to be highly enough to be worthy to receive a full cup, especially when you're willing to give it. So now that's the new world order of love for those that are, supreme citizens of it, let's say. Yes, I love it. All right, let's see what else we got. Wasn't it clear from the start? Look, the sky is full of love. Yeah, sky is full of love. Yes, it is. Whew. Man, I feel so energized right now. Oh my God, it's crazy. Ace of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, yes. Absolutely, yes. Passion from the most passionate king in the deck, who can definitely match those vibes. and the thing about it is, like, yeah, it could definitely be the King of Cups, particularly to match the Queen of Cups, but I'm feeling it in this regard because sometimes the King of Cups has a rap for not necessarily expressing what they feel, but the King of Wands, it's going to like overtake you. Like you won't be able, whatever it is, whatever the object, like you see how he's objectifying, but not in the bad sense, but this is his focus, this Ace of Pentacles. I'm seeing this as the focal point, someone recognizing your essence as a gift. From all of that I just said, here's the recognition of that in the physical form from a celestial origin, like somebody seeing that this must be from the divine. Didn't I just say that? Wasn't it clear from the start? Oh no, that's something else. Oh, there must have been something heavenly sent me to you. And this is someone with the King of Wands, and this is the energy of direction here, right? Being led from that internal compass, maybe someone that's looking for a place to express his passions. But, with the King of Wands, there can be some distraction here and there, in the lower vibration, not so much in the highest, but for the most part, as I've said about even the Queen of Wands, their object of affection is undeniable. Like when you have their attention, you have their attention. They may have a room full of people that they have they have commanded the attention of with that fire energy, but that doesn't mean that their attention is on everyone, if that makes sense. There's something very objective about the passion of this particular being that is pronounced clearly. It's focused, it's intense, it's deliberate, it's well-meaning is what I feel, because this wouldn't even present itself. It's like, consider you've been off cultivating your love energy, your love vibration on your own, loving yourself, maybe perhaps being abstinent or celibate, however it matters to you, whatever it means to you, or just being very, again, selective with who you engage with, to the point where you've raised the vibration of your love, just the energy of you, not even just, anything particularly sexual or intimate about you, but the holistic package of, the holistic value of you, the package, the prize, has been raised and elevated by spiritual standards, and it's undeniable. It's clear by the way you carry yourself, by what you are a yes and a no to, by the environments that you project yourself in, by how you speak, by the places that you're, even how you present yourself physically. This is the King of Wands, who's very aesthetically energized, or like what's the right word, like aesthetically, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it, but basically like aesthetics, definitely intrigued, aesthetically intrigued, and also intriguing. So it's a natural come from that. He is attractive, so therefore he is he's looking at things that are attractive, that pique his passion in all the right ways, if you know what I mean. But not just on the sexual aspect of things, but literally, energetically, what pulsates his ambition. Like I said, the King of Wands could have many options, and not even just options in an intimate sense. It could be the fire energies in general usually aren't hurting for connection, or for people that want to be in connection with them, or want to know them just in general. It's like, for whatever reason, they spot something that is valued above all, in a spectacular way, like highly valued energy that perhaps is outside of what they can even cultivate themselves, or maybe it's the mirror image of what they see of themselves in some regard too, but they know it when they see it, is the point that I'm trying to make. King of Wands, unless it's in the lower vibration, even the lower aspects of, say, the Knight of Wands, more or less is true to what his passion, how his passion persists. He's not just taking any old thing. He may bide his time, just enjoying life, because they're going to do that, that's for sure. But when it comes time to be serious, as we would expect the King of Wands to be, is serious about their passion, how it's projected, what it's infused with, knowing the value. That's key here too. And this is a perfect expression of someone maybe that has gone internally, has been guided into their inner light, inner sanctum of their soul and spirit, to know exactly how valuable they are. Again, having closed the cycle of perhaps that lower vibrational energy that I'm speaking of, where ambitions may, maybe a perverted passion to some degree, not meaning, like perverted in the sense of against the law, or out, like something that would be uncouth, you know what I mean? But to the point where it's not pure, where it's provoked. Oh, that's the word I was looking for, aesthetically provoked. Is provoked by superficiality, for instance, what looks good, what seems like a good time, what might be a good time for now. There's a closing of that cycle, even in this masculine energy, and I'm really regarding this very heavily, whether it actually be something that resonates truly to you personally. My readings can go from a personal and intimate experience all the way up to universal. And I'm seeing it with the Queen of Cups, and how I kind of went in on that energy, and generally that being the come from of the woman, or the frequency of the woman in her more divine nature, or at least being intentional about it. This is more to come from of the masculine, someone that is ambitious, that you would expect. This is like a, type A, or what do they call it? Alpha male type of energy, that we expect, that we actually desire or attracted to. That's what makes them so attractive, right? We don't necessarily want a man that doesn't value what they have to offer, that doesn't think highly of themselves, that isn't confident, that isn't ambitious and a go-getter and driven and focused and, protective also as the King of Wands. So it's really a beautiful synergy here between the aspects of the feminine and masculine dynamic that you would want to experience more or less, at least at the core of it all. And of course, depending on your preference, personally is another thing. But this is the ideal of the masculine man that we stereotypically hold in high honor, like I said, that sometimes his ambitions and have gotten him in trouble in the lower vibration or in a less mature aspect. But this is the expression, both feminine and masculine, of two people that have found the value of themselves by going within. It's not projected by how many women want him or how many men want to be like him or how many people just want to get to know him or be around him or how he may even be, the life force in his family. It's not projected from a feminine aspect as to how many men just want to be in her company or in her care or how many men want to take her on a date or, it's like it's not an external projection or validation anymore. It's like you've seen enough of the world as it was to know what truly is of value to you in an energetic sense and in a very material, practical, actual sense. What really even affords you prosperity anymore, to give your energy, to devote your energy or invest your energy into those people, places, and spaces just for the sake of saying you did or you can or there's the option. What did it really yield in the end? This is having learned those lessons and now close those cycles without shame or guilt for past experiences. It's not like, oh man, I it's not with the reflection of looking back on yourself like you've done something wrong, because even the King of Wands in his lowest nature was living his life and walking his path. The Queen of Wands and her Queen of Cups in her lowest nature was living her life, testing her love vibrations, testing his wand to see. You got to see what you're made of, and experience is the best teacher. But the most important thing is that there's been great wisdom gained from the internal discovery of those life lessons, not just continuing to start the same cycles over and over again and wondering why, if you are having gone through the cycles, going maybe through some unfavorable times in your experiences, that you can take accountability and responsibility. You co-created to the experience of the reality of. But now taking all of that wisdom and projecting yourself forward to know what to proactively ascribe to, without remorse, guilt, shame, regret, or any of it, even having value for the experiences of the past, lest you wouldn't even know who you truly are, the nature of the true essence of your nature, the value of your organism to some degree. You wouldn't even know if you hadn't had the experiences that you had. There was something else I was going to say before I cut myself off, though. I lost it. Let's see. Star card. Oh, stop. Oof. With the Wheel of Fortune makes this obsolete. You ain't out in the cold no more. The heartbreak is a thing of the past. It literally is a thing of the past. This is the old cycle closing. This is the new one beginning. Knowing exactly what is in alignment with your star frequency, your life's purpose, mission, what you feel destined and designed to do, and not depreciating that value anymore, or settling for anything less than what's on that level. That a match that's going to push you and propel you forward in that regard, and bring to support you in the evolution. This is like universal evolution that's happening, and it's projecting itself in the 3D realm. Like the world is projecting this change that's happening from on high, from in the depths, that can't be denied, but how you embody it is all up to you. You can, like I said, you can continue to run back to how you used to do things because it's comfortable there, or that energy, people expect you to kind of be a certain way, or the results that you can account for. But look where that leads. Depression, regret, shame, guilt, all of that stuff. It's like, nah, we done with that. We off of that. It's about good fortune now, just on account of being yourself, nothing more, nothing less. And again, given from a fulfilled space, being expectant to be filled, first off, because that's the difference between those more dense energies here, is that there wasn't an expectation, as I said in the beginning, to be filled up in the first place. You almost just accepted your lot, like, oh, well, maybe I'm not worthy of all that. Or you flip it to say that maybe no one else is willing, but what you're really saying is that you're not worthy when you're willing to settle for anything less than what you would want to give, than what you would want to have based on what you're willing to give, And this is in any regard. Oh, that's what I was saying. Did I say that already though? I think I did. In the range of it being personal to universal. This is all of that. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be exclusively love and intimacy, although of course we started with the Two of Cups and me singing that damn song that I couldn't stop singing. So which makes a lot of sense. And here's the overflow of love, but it really is just about being fulfilling yourself to pursue the things that bring you passion. Here's that proactive energy here with the King of Wands, where it's not exclusive to man or woman. It's the proactivity of you allowing your passion to lead you to your life's work and your life's worth, and that energy is undeniable. It projects, it can't be contained, as a matter of fact. And yes, you become a beam of light for those on the adverse side that may want to manipulate it, or, to siphon it for themselves. But for the most part, your integrity is your protection. When you have that proposition, whether it be personally or professionally, that's not in alignment with where your purpose, you feel guided, and in your purpose, what is a match for your passion, what you feel is morally upright, what you feel is passion inducing to some degree, what excites you, even just taking something because it sounds good, or doing it because it's the first thing that comes across your table, whether it be a relationship proposition or a business proposition. That's where we depreciate the value of our integrity and end up in less favorable positions, where we feel depleted and we're giving more to a situation than what we're ever going to really garner from it, simply because we sacrifice some part of ourselves for it in the first place, So it's a new world, y'all. Like, we're not doing that no more. We are expecting to be filled. We have the expectation to be whole and complete, and to be in overflow, as a matter of fact. And the world that we're leaving behind, here's that overflow, and then there's the King of Cups. He's here anyway, you know what I mean? But it's like, this is the satisfaction that the King of Cups needed to come to within himself, even appreciating his own depth of emotional intelligence and essence, you know what I mean, to be able to have the passion to be expressive about it, because this is the love in action, which is what love is anyway, right? You want to be with somebody that can show you how much they love you just as much as they can tell you, and it's coming from a pure space. You want to be in a situation, personally, professionally, or otherwise, that is a reflection of how much passion you have stored up within you, of how much love, which we know is creative force, right, that you have the potential to expel. You don't want to be in something that is less reflective of that, where you can't really fully, you don't even feel comfortable giving yourself to it completely. Back to that Two of Cups, you almost feel like you got to hold back something, or you feel like because you if you give so much, you know it's not going to give back. Like even in a professional sense, where you've taken you've sideswiped yourself in a professional opportunity that's not really holistically in alignment with your passions, your heart desires, your purpose, any of that and all of that. You almost feel like you're cheating on yourself. You know what I mean? Like there's some part of you that you either have to withhold, or you have to pretty much just kind of throw to the wind and know that it's not going to be, fully received as it's valued at the market price that it's valued as. You know what I mean? Because you don't belong there, or your energy is not well placed there, or you're not supposed to be with that person, or doing that thing, or living in that place, or pursuing this profession, or working that job. I can get started on particularly on the aspect of working a job that doesn't incite your passion. You just showing up every day to be paid, or to say that you got one. You know what I mean? But what does it excite you to go? Does it excite you to do the work that you're doing? Does it even feel like work? Or you know what I mean? Like, is there more to it to be received? And is there more of a reward from it than just the monetary exchange? It has to be from a more infinite space now for us to feel complete, our wishes being fulfilled holistically. And that's the energy that is making the world go around. It's not important for me to say that, yeah, and here's the holistic return for that investment, right? That it becomes material beyond beyond containment, more than what you could have attained just doing it because you felt like you should. Again, in any regard, the prosperity comes from the source of whence it comes from. It's the attraction of this energy first that brings in this in a measurable sense. So you could be spinning your wheels, with that Seven of Pentacles, working your fingers to the bone till retirement, and still penny pinch your way through the rest of your existence on account of not feeling excited to take that leap into something that maybe was a bit more of a risk materially, but that was all the rave as far as your spirit and your purpose is concerned, or your passion is concerned. It might seem like a high risk. Yeah, you can do anything with this energy, and with the ambition to do so. Now, this is the diffused energy of the King of Wands, but what it's really expressing here is unbridled passion, uninhibited, almost without thought, just knowing, like I said, having an entitlement to be fulfilled. That's the conditioning that we're breaking of the old world, where there's been a construct of success, that success being the dotted line to fulfillment, which by the standards of society was never the case. Like, that is a dotted line for a reason. It's broken. It's not a direct segue. It's the energy, the fulfillment of the spirit and the soul first, that then leads you to that material expressive experience of success. Like we've been having the cart before the horse for a long time, following a pattern and a guideline, a cookie cutter method, literally, that ultimately didn't really lead very far. Like, consider the American dream really ain't much of a dream at all in the grand scheme of things. It's kind of a nightmare when you think about all that you are incited to sacrifice, and how subdued you are conditioned to be, almost like a zombie, like, must have the house, must have the car, must have the family. You know what I mean? Like, there's no soul in it, really. You bring the soul to those pursuits if those things are of value for you to have. But what was cut out is the means to that end, and the true essence and value of that starting point in the first place. It's like, oh, you do it this way. This will get you there. But it's like, no, it's something very unique, just as that star card is to everyone. It doesn't look like anyone else. And when you try to make it fit into a box, that's when you become the zombie that you're being conditioned to be. So let's see what else we got. This is an awesome reading. Oh my goodness. Ooh. I love it. I love it. I love it. Temperance. This is like, first of all, okay. And we got a confirmation card here with what? The Wheel of Fortune again. And protecting this ideal, this new world order of your life, okay? Because this may not be the new world order on a massive scale just yet, as people are still kind of waking up to their potential and the truth of their possibilities. This is the contention that you may still have to face, even in an intimate state between family, friends, foes, and society on high, and the global mentality that still in this moment reigns supreme projectively. The spirit of the planet is changing, but it may take a little while for everyone to catch up, if everyone is destined to catch up to the evolution that is universally ordained at this time, literally to find that truth of themselves and be reproductive of it in the feminine essence. But what this is, though, is the Magician and the Temperance is that the alchemy. Oh, this is like chef's kiss, man. The alchemy of this overflow, literally materializing into something tangible and measurable that you get to now work with and do whatever you choose to do with it. Literally a one on the top of this card. You literally have the autonomy, if you choose to absorb it in that way or to receive it in that way, to do whatever you want to do with it in the material form of this spiritual life force fuel, right? This energetic fuel. And then you have the heaven's support to enhance that ambition, to enhance that creativity, to magnify it, to multiply it. This is Jupiter energy with the Temperance, to really bring something to light in ways that were beyond even your conception is what you have when you're devoted to creating it a certain way. It's like spirit can't help but get their hands involved. It's like, what you doing over there? Not you believing for your wildest dreams and actually pursuing it. Not you actually manifesting, the things that everybody told you was impossible. Well, let me help you. Let me help you out. Not you believing that you deserve love, unconditional love, not you giving it to yourself in the first place. Like, hold up, let me send you somebody to help you really solidify that projection so that you can see how worthy you truly are. That's the energy of the Temperance here. This to reflect to you the true value of your divine nature and to alchemize anything that might be tainted otherwise. And anything I've said before, that was like what you give to it is ultimately what it gets to enhance. So if you give it, it comes from the highest vibration of, well, you could give it the lowest vibration and it may help you out with your best intentions, but you can't expect much of a turnover, you know what I'm saying? But when you're operating in the energy of the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, with the ambition of the King of Wands, the creativity, the force, the drive, the confidence, the boldness, the Magician with the ingenuity, the audacity in some regards, like the nerve to believe for miracles in a material form, like this is like taking it to the next level. This is the essence of miracles at play here. And it's like it'll become, I don't know if happenstance is a word, even though I use that term a lot, but it just becomes like matter of fact, almost as matter of fact as a magician to some degree, because you're expectant of this projection within yourself, and also the support of energetic presence, of intangible presence it becomes like a natural order of life, you know, where things are always mystical and magical and fantastical, and you know, like you wouldn't expect anything less. That's the energy that we're moving toward. Whereas now, certain things happen and you are kind of mysticized by, like, oh my God, did I do that? Did spirit do that? Who did that type of thing, you know? And it surprises you in a way, which is good, because who doesn't like a good surprise, you know, fantastically. But it also doesn't really necessarily align us for the reproduction of that energy over and over again, because you almost feel like, oh, that was just a coincidence, or that was just a lucky break, or you know, something like that. Literally luck, fortune, something that doesn't happen every day. But the evolution, the new world energy that we're cultivating, we're being conditioned to receive, to reproduce, to create, to co-create with, is that no, this is the expectation for extraordinary. You should expect for your mind to be blown to the point where it's not even a mind blow anymore. You know, it's just regular life to just be magical. You know, you should expect for your wildest dreams to be made manifest and be superseded, you know, and to be magnified beyond what you could have conceived of. The more that you can believe of, the more spirit can actually blow your mind, and hopefully to the point where, even though I'm saying, you know, it'll become like, you know, regular life, you know, normal everyday life, that there's still an infinite to the spirit's projection that could never be matched, really and truly. So even as we continue to go higher and higher in our expectations, spirit will continue to exceed as well, you know. So it just becomes infinitely magical in this realm, to the point where the thing that is normal is just the expectation for your expectations to be superseded. You know, it's like, well, I know that this is what I'm projecting, but I'm already knowing it's going to be bigger than that. You know, like that's the normalcy of it all. And I love that for us. I love that for us. Do I even want to keep going, or do I want to take this? I think I just want to take this last card. And it's the Emperor. Like, and I love this because it's really projecting the dominance and all, with this Wheel of Fortune still trying to stick out, of like this transition or transformation of us in our autonomous form, you know, where and I love that it's the Queen of Swords with this too, because it's objectivity, it's fairness, it's balance, it's you know, it's harmony with the essence of the air energy that the Queen of Swords project. It's like a balanced energy of power and prestige and control, you know, like even mind control, but not in the sense of, you know, like I said, she's here to project the balance of it, the harmony of it, not mind control over others. This is the autonomy, that's what it is. Control over your own energetic field, your own mind field, not it being manipulated or induced to a reality that is a projection of some cookie cutter or construct. You know, to really, you know, with the energy of the Emperor card, he sets the rules of the kingdom, more or less. You know what I mean? He is one of one. You know what I mean? Like, is there in terms of the physical leadership of the Emperor, the physical structure of power, the Emperor is top tier, and that's who we're being called to be. And I love that the energy of the Queen of Swords is here, first of all, solidifying this truth, but with the magnitude of a feminine energy, as we started with, that softer nature where it's not like masculine or feminine, that you're just out here bogarting everything to be your way or the highway. It's you taking control over your existence, your creativity, your reality with the sword energy, your truth. You becoming the head of that estate in every way, shape, and form. And again, doing it so in a balanced and fair way, where it's not an imposition on anyone else, even unto yourself. You know, certainly not a sacrifice to all the great value that I've already talked about, but it's with the honor of truth, and no less in power, though, for sure, heavy on the power, but power in perspective. There it is. Thank you, Spirit. Power and perspective. And that perspective is key, right? That makes all the difference, because it's one thing to have an emperor stand alone, which is the issue with a lot of the old world energy that we're coming out of, that we're healing ourselves from, is the emperor in the presence, in the position of power, to be almost a tyrant, to be, even from individual perspectives and from the large scale of society, the nation, the globe, like these energies of dominant forces that feel that it's their duty and their right to dictate how the rest of the world gets to be and gets to do and gets to have, to manipulate energies in a way that would be beneficial to them almost exclusively. That's the energy that's why I keep saying about the balance of power, because that's the imbalance that we've all been susceptible to, subservient to, dare I say, and conditioned by, which is ultimately what has flipped us on our side of feeling less worthy to have an expectation to receive fully and completely. This is the come from of that in an imbalanced way. This was the conditioning, us feeling from these hierarchy spaces that if we weren't at a certain pinnacle of power or prestige, that we should be happy with whatever we get, that we should just be happy to be breathing, or should be lucky to work and receive a paycheck, should be lucky to have a decent home, even though we're paying more than what we should be paying to live there. Like the imbalances of this pursuit of the dream of prominence that's been so distorted, but it's been all that we've known. It's been all that's been presented, all that's been available for the most part, unless otherwise you're projected that you have to sacrifice a great deal, either of your independence, your security, stability, your peace of mind, you know what I mean, in order to do it any other way outside of that box. But now that's over. That's over. Everyone gets to operate in the perspective that is divine to them, within the power that they've been authorized to possess and to pronounce from an ethereal standpoint. And of course, here's the balance again of all of that energy. It's like it's doubling down on all of it in a powerful and like a magnificent way. I can't even say powerful, like magnificent way, that we get to, we should feel entitled to embody this power, this force, this autonomy, this independence, this, I don't even know what else to say of the emperor. Like, you should feel that you are the governor or governess of your own grace. That was ordained to you from on high, or from an intangible space, and was distorted from a very physical one. And now we get to evolve as spirit and truth want to realign our expectations in this evolution of perception and even expression, for us to organically operate in the ordinance that was always ordained for us to do so, in spiritual autonomy, in a liberated mind space, in material and physical prosperity, in an overflow of spiritual and, dare I say, emotional fulfillment. That we never needed to shortchange ourselves of those delights, and we certainly don't need to now. And the more that we believe for what is already due to us, is the more that spirit can enhance to expand our expectations. And the more expansive our expectations become, the more we evolve even beyond what we thought was possible to experience or express. So it's just going to be a continuance, escalation, elevation, and ascension that we can look forward to, where it's like world without end. Amen. Amen. If you know, you know. Wow, this is amazing. All right, I'm done. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Receive it as you will. And I hope you receive as much of this as makes sense to you, from the song to the message to the prophecy and on and on and on, okay? Because if you're under the sound of my voice and have the heart and the mind to will this to be so, it already is. All you have to do is receive it as such, all right? So again, thanks for listening and watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.